Jill Duggar gets prayers from Bates family after heartbreaking loss. Counting on alum Jill Duggar Dillard has been getting a lot of sympathy from fans following her devastating miscarriage. The 32-year-old mom recently announced the sad news about her stillborn baby. Several members of the Duggar family have also sent the fourth Duggar child heartfelt messages amid her estrangement. But what caught the attention of many was the Bates family's support for Jill. Keep reading to see the messages she received. Counting on the Duggars and Bates relationship. The Duggar family and the Bates family have been longtime friends. All of them have many in common, especially when it comes to the church they follow. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar also have 19 children, the same as Gil and Kelly Jo. Many were surprised that a Duggar-Bates marriage never happened. But it seems that their children prefer staying friends. Recently, some members of the Bates family sent big messages for Jill, who suffered a miscarriage. Jill receives support from the Bates family. Jill recently took to Instagram to share the sad news about her miscarriage. According to the former Counting On star, she's been pregnant for 4 months. However, they were devastated when they learned that the baby had passed away in her womb. Jill Duggar Dillard also said that it was a baby girl, and she named her Isla Marie Dillard. The married couple received tons of prayers and positive messages from the fans. Some members of the Bates family also left messages for the grieving mom. One of them is Lydia Bates, who also suffered a miscarriage in February. "I am so sorry for your loss. I'll be praying for you both," she said. Josie and Carlin Bates also mourned Jill's stillbirth and said that they would continue praying for her. Counting on Jill Duggar's odd absence finally explained. Many fans have noticed the sudden absence of Jill Duggar Dillard on social media. Some even thought that she was finally stepping away amid all the controversies in the Duggar family since Josh's CSAM arrest. But it's now clear that the Counting On alum's sudden disappearance was due to pregnancy. One of her last posts before sharing her miscarriage was about the baby birds she hatched at their house. Jeremiah Duggar causes confusion in latest appearance. Counting On alum Jeremiah Duggar is making many people scratch their heads following his recent appearance. The 25-year-old man occasionally shares updates about his family. Most of the time, he and his wife, Hannah, upload beautiful photos from their outdoor trips. However, some Redditors got confused about their latest post, as Jeremiah looked like one of his siblings. Keep reading to see the surprising photo. Counting On: how are Hannah and Jeremiah Duggar today? Jeremiah is currently a commercial pilot and a certified flight instructor. The Counting On alum doesn't usually appear at some of the Duggar family's get-togethers. But it seems that he and his wife, Hannah, have been doing well despite their private lives. Last month, Hannah uploaded a beautiful picture of her husband carrying their 2 kids while hanging out at the airport. The married couple also celebrated their 2nd wedding anniversary last month. Jeremiah causes confusion in latest appearance. Some Redditors discussed John David's recent IG stories. According to the poster, they thought that Jeremiah was his brother, Jed Duggar, for a second. Others agreed and pointed out how many Duggar siblings look alike, especially when it comes to the boys. It appears that the confusion came from the facial hair Jeremiah Duggar has grown, which is an unusual sight to see. Meanwhile, many Counting On fans got worried about their tandem bikes with their kids at the back. Are they riding tandem bikes? Didn't the one on the left just have a baby? Maybe it was further back than I'm thinking. They're all Jed. How is Jeremiah's wife riding a bike when she just had a baby last month? Those men have the same face. I didn't even recognize the other couple as Duggars. Jesus, it's the same face just with more hair on the left one. Counting On, another look-alike Duggar sibling. Aside from Jeremiah and Jed, some Counting On fans have also noticed the similarities between Joanna and Johanna Duggar. According to some, Johanna looks like a younger version of Joanna. They also like to spend time with each other. In February, they went to a salon for a manicure along with Jana. Joanna Duggar Forsyth also took to YouTube in March to share her sleepover with some of her siblings, Johanna, Josie, Jennifer, Jordan, and Jana. Many fans are also glad that the Duggar kids are becoming more active online after all the controversies they faced following Josh Duggar's CSAM arrest. Amy Duggar King is using her God-given voice to speak out in tell-all memoir. Holy Disruptor, Shattering the Shiny Facade While Getting Louder with the Truth will be released on October 14. Amy Duggar King is ready to speak out like never before. People can exclusively announce that the outspoken Duggar family member is releasing her debut memoir, Holy Disruptor, Shattering the Shiny Facade While Getting Louder with the Truth. The book will be released on October 14, 2025. Amy, 38, will now share her unfiltered testimony of breaking free in Holy Disruptor. Even if you've been silenced, you can find your God-given voice. Overbearing leadership, toxic environments, unfair standards and unrealistic expectations. There are many ways that people abuse, manipulate and silence others. The worst part is the abuser is often someone you love. An official description of Holy Disruptor begins. Amy Duggar King knows what it's like to be coerced and have her voice silenced. On TLC's hit reality show 19 Kids and Counting, Amy was branded crazy cousin Amy, an identity she didn't choose but was forced to live into. The book's synopsis continues. Her authentic voice was taken from her as she was told to put on a shiny, happy smile for the camera. The gaslighting continued as she was told off camera, "You're too much and you're not enough." However, in the years since the Duggar family collapse, Amy has intentionally dissociated from the toxic family environment, which has helped her discover how to be a holy disruptor and make life-changing decisions for her well-being. Through Holy Disruptor, readers can learn to trust your instincts, see clearly in a fog of lies and unearth and use your authentic voice, among other approaches. Ultimately, these methods will help allow readers the ability to use your voice. God loves you, and has given you an authentic voice to use for His glory, the synopsis adds. No matter what you've been told or how you've been manipulated in the past, freedom is waiting for you today. It's time to use your voice. Holy Disruptor hails from HarperCollins Christian Publishing. Amy first gained recognition on TLC's 19 Kids and Counting and later appeared on its spin-off Counting On. Both programs were cancelled in the wake of scandals tied to her cousin Josh Duggar, who reported to prison in 2022 after receiving a nearly 13-year sentence for receiving and possessing child. Amy had been very outspoken on the matter, appearing in Prime Video's docuseries Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets, and addressing the controversy exclusively with People. Last year, the former reality star who shares son Daxton with husband Dillard King told People how she was processing her experiences through her writing. "I'm just writing all my experiences and the things that I've learned, and I'm journaling a lot right now. It's just really healing," she said. "That's just been the best part, I think, is just me just pouring it out on pages and being like, wow, there's a lot here." As for whether she envisioned turning it into a book, Amy admitted, "I'm not really sure of what it's going to equal or what will happen with it. Right now, it's just really a healing moment for me and it's been really good," she added. Michelle Duggar worries fans with latest appearance. Is she okay? In recent days, longtime public figure Michelle Duggar has sparked concern among fans and followers following her latest public appearance, prompting widespread discussion across social media and fan forums. Known primarily for her role on the popular TLC reality series 19 Kids and Counting, which followed the lives of Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar and their large family, Michelle has remained a polarizing yet familiar presence in the public eye for over a decade. However, her most recent sighting brief though it was has left many wondering about her well-being, both physically and emotionally. The appearance in question occurred during a rare public outing, reportedly at a local grocery store in their hometown of Tontitown, Arkansas. A fan who spotted the couple shared a photo on a popular Duggar fan page, noting that Michelle looked noticeably different. While the image was not high resolution, it was clear enough to show a woman who appeared thinner than in previous years, with a more subdued expression and a demeanor that many described as withdrawn or tired. The post quickly gained traction, with hundreds of comments pouring in from concerned supporters. "I've followed the Duggars for years, and I've never seen Michelle look this fragile," one user wrote. "Something seems off." Another added, "She used to carry herself with such confidence. Now she just looks sad." These reactions highlight the complex relationship fans have with the Duggar family. For many, the Duggars represented a picture of traditional family values, religious devotion, and conservative living. Michelle, in particular, was often held up as a model of the ideal Christian homemaker dedicated to her husband, committed to raising her children, and unapologetically embracing a life of modesty and service. Over the years, however, that image has been tested by a series of family scandals, most notably the 2013 child sexual abuse allegations against her eldest son, Josh Duggar. Though Michelle has largely stayed silent on the matter in public, the fallout from that scandal and the subsequent revelations about Josh's actions has undoubtedly cast a long shadow over the family. The once beloved reality show was cancelled, the family's public appearances became more infrequent, and their influence within certain conservative Christian circles began to wane. Through it all, Michelle has maintained a low profile, rarely giving interviews or engaging directly with the media. Given this context, her recent appearance has prompted speculation about what she might be going through behind closed doors. Some fans have suggested that she may be dealing with health issues. Observers noted that she seemed to walk slowly, leaning slightly on Jim Bob's arm, and that her face appeared gaunt. While weight fluctuations can be caused by any number of factors including stress, aging, or changes in diet, concerns have been raised about whether she might be facing an undiagnosed or ongoing medical condition. Others have pointed to the emotional toll that the family's public unraveling may have taken on her. Losing the platform that once defined her public identity, combined with the shame and scrutiny surrounding her son's actions, could have contributed to a sense of isolation or depression. The Duggars have long emphasized the importance of privacy and faith, often encouraging followers to trust God in times of trial. But for someone who once lived much of her life in the public eye, the transition to obscurity may be especially difficult. Michelle and Jim Bob have continued to be active within their local church and affiliated ministries, including the Institute in Basic Life Principles, a conservative Christian organization that has played a significant role in shaping their family's beliefs and lifestyle. They occasionally appear at church events or family gatherings, often surrounded by their adult children and grandchildren. Yet even in these settings, Michelle has seemed more reserved, speaking less and often staying close to her husband. There is also the question of how Michelle views her role now, years after the peak of her fame. Once a central figure in a family brand that included books, speaking engagements, and television, she now lives a much quieter life. Some speculate that this shift may have led to an identity crisis of sorts, particularly for a woman whose public persona was so closely tied to her role as a mother and homemaker within a highly structured religious framework. Critics of the Duggar family's lifestyle have long argued that the emphasis on submission, modesty, and family hierarchy can be emotionally taxing, especially for women. Michelle, who married Jim Bob at just 18 and began having children shortly thereafter, has spent much of her adult life in a role that leaves little room for personal ambition outside the home. While she has expressed contentment with her life in past interviews, the recent concerns about her well-being have led some to question whether she has had the emotional support or autonomy to process the trauma and public fallout her family has endured. Despite the speculation, there has been no official statement from the Duggar family addressing Michelle's health or current condition. Representatives for the family have not responded to media inquiries, and Michelle herself has not made any public comments. This silence, while consistent with the family's long-standing preference for privacy, only deepens the mystery and fuels further concern among fans. It's worth noting that public figures, especially those who have lived much of their lives under a microscope, often face unfair scrutiny. A single photo, taken out of context, can lead to sweeping assumptions about someone's mental or physical health. Michelle Duggar, like anyone, is entitled to her privacy, and her appearance does not necessarily indicate that something is wrong. People change over time, stress, aging, and personal challenges can all leave visible marks. Still, the level of concern from fans speaks to the emotional connection many people feel with public figures, particularly those they've followed for years. For some, Michelle represented stability, faith, and motherhood in its most traditional form. Seeing her look different, more vulnerable, perhaps can be unsettling, not just because of worry for her, but because it challenges the image they once held of her. As the conversation continues online, it's important to approach the topic with compassion and restraint. While it's natural to care about someone we've watched grow over the years, it's also crucial to remember that we only see a fraction of their reality. Michelle Duggar's life, like anyone's, is complex and multifaceted. Whatever she may be going through, whether it's health concerns, emotional struggles, or simply the quiet evolution of a life lived in the public eye, it deserves to be met with empathy, not speculation. In the absence of facts, the best course of action is to hope for her well-being and respect her right to privacy. If Michelle chooses to speak out or share more in the future, that will be her decision. Until then, the concern of her fans, while well-intentioned, should be tempered with understanding and grace. Ultimately, the story of Michelle Duggar is not just about a single appearance or a fleeting moment caught on camera. It's about the lasting impact of fame, family, faith, and the quiet resilience it takes to navigate life when the spotlight fades. Whether she is truly unwell or simply living a different chapter of her life, one thing remains clear: Michelle Duggar continues to carry the weight of her past, her choices, and the expectations of thousands who once looked to her as a symbol of a certain way of life. And in that, she is not so different from any of us trying to move forward, one day at a time.